linebacker Zane Gonzalez has us ready to go, and we are underway here from Bank of America Stadium. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. They're led out by last season's comeback player of the year. In his third season now, it's Joe Burrow.
Hey, we all love a good story, and what we like even more, guys who can fight through adversity. Joe Burrow coming out of high school, goes to Ohio State, doesn't get a chance to start, transfers to LSU, not thought to be a top prospect, ends up the #1 pick in the draft, and justifies it. Tremendous play, excellent mobility, and leadership off the charts.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A good start. One play, 10 yards.
I think the reason this play is so successful is not just the blocking at the point of attack, but how about the speed at which he takes the handoff? He's in motion already, so he's not coming from a flat start like a running back often is. He's at a full run by the time he gets the football.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it's 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
They get the guard out of Georgia Tech, Shaq Mason. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now it's Burrow. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Watkins. The gain of 8 there on the play. And now that sets up 3rd and 2.
This is a wide receiver as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
They go play action with Burrow. He's got it complete. Derrick Henry. And he is going to have a Colts first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2. Well, that's how you use your safety valve, CD. He didn't appear to be the intended target, but they got it to him, and he was able to get just enough to pick up the first.
And what a great example of where we are right now in the NFL, because if you're a running back, you're not just going to carry it. You got to catch it out of the backfield as well. Those combo guys, they're the ones everyone wants on their team.
First down. Here's Burrow. As this complete to Woods. And he goes out of bounds, it looks like right at the 50. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. But yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution here.
And how about how everyone's handled their nerves? Because you know what it's like to start a ball game. You're so amped up and ready to go, and sometimes the execution isn't there. They've been flawless so far. Well drilled, well prepared, and excited to start this game.
It's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from this inside spot and step down into the line of scrimmage. Basically a back for play.
Number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Now Burrow. And he's got his man. It's the tight end Goddard. And he is going to have a Colts first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
Here we go.
first down carry for Henry. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Burrow will throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Running left, it's Henry. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 12-yard line. 11 more yards there. This methodical drive continues. And so far, a very nice, methodical opening drive.
This has the feel of a scripted drive that they rehearsed perfectly all week long, and now they're executing it on game day.
Script looks good so far. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Now it's Burrow. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. That'll give him 8 that time, and it'll be 2nd and a couple.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Back to the ground now. It's Henry. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
He made a defensive coordinator here. The big 2nd and 2 is a firm situation to try to defend. He's wide open for that first down.
Nice job holding the run after that 8-yard pickup on first down. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd and 1, Burrow. Touchdown! Dallas Goedert from 3 yards out. And the Colts put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead. Quite the drive there to get things started. They took up the bulk of the first quarter, and they end up in the end zone.
And I love your last point. Ended up in the end zone. Because a lot of teams like those long drives, especially to keep their offense off the field, right? Keep the ball away from them. But they finished it with a touchdown. That's the exclamation point. Now, flip it over defensively. They've got to slow that down somehow, right? Maybe they need to be a little more aggressive. Maybe a few more pressures towards the quarterback.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded inside the 5. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So here are the Panthers under head coach Matt Rule. They'll be led out by the former NFL MVP, already a 2-time Pro Bowler in his 5th season out of Louisville, Lamar Jackson.
And he remains the league's premier rushing threat and one of the biggest playmakers among quarterbacks. His goal each and every season, continue to expand his game as a passer and become well-rounded. All those highlight reel plays you see, they come off the fact that he can run it, throw it, and scares defenses every time he takes a snap.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Charlotte, and it's the Panthers with the football as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation. Throwing is Jackson. And that'll be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the gun, it's Jackson. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. A gain of 4, not enough, and it looks like punt time on their opening drive as it's 4th down. Well, you know, paramount for this defense is trying to keep Lamar Jackson somewhat contained when he tries to run. They did a pretty good job of it there.
And you know it's so difficult for every defense that has to prepare for Lamar Jackson? You have to think and play at the same time, and I know that sounds like something you're supposed to do, but when you have to think about your assignments against him, it often slows down your feet. You don't move as fast. You've got to be prepared for this guy every step of the way and then try and match his athleticism.
A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Again, it's Henry running right through it. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key 1st downs and big runs.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Play action. It's Burrow. And he'll find his target. Woods, it's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a 1st down.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Line of scrimmage moves from one 37-yard line to the other as they come up 1st and 10. Henry up the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. They set up the screen for Henry. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help him at contract time.
Yeah, he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On 3rd down, Burrow. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Rodrigo Blankenship and the Colts field goal unit comes on. This from 36 yards out. Blankenship's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no wind. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taken in at the 3. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their 2nd drive. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint. Down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. They begin this drive with Chubb, and he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Jackson now. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route, the drag, and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And his throw is incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield of man coverage and make up ground quickly in zones. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Here's Jackson to throw. Middle of the... And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Colts pick it up. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball, You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
And we spotlight Derrick Henry now. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it third manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Burrow looking to pass. It's complete to Diggs. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Burrow. Caught by Woods. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. To the air again, Burrow. Toward the sideline, and that is a nice catch as he's able to tiptoe his way out of bounds. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Just picking up yardage and bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Touchdown, Colts. Jalen Waddle from 3 yards out. And the Colts will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Rodrigo Blankenship on for the PAT. He's got it, and it's 17-0. 5 plays there on that drive. And it was finished off by a Jalen Waddle touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fields it right around the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Panthers going to go back on offense here late in this first half. I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. And this one complete to Smith. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Now Jackson. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. First and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. Meanwhile, Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45. I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And Jackson throwing once more. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
Let's play. Let's play now, baby. Let's play. Let's rock and roll, baby. Let's go.
Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. And this is into the hands of Andrews downfield. Touchdown, Panthers. Mark Andrews as the first half is winding down. And the Panthers are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Taking it about the 1. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. A nice run there on first down as Henry uses his size to plow forward. Call it a pickup of 7. So we come to halftime here with the visiting Colts taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Panthers going to get the football first, trailing here as well as we resume play in this second half. Andre Roberts now to return it. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. And the Panthers ready to go back to work to start the third quarter. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter three.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up on comeback here this half.
First play of the line going for 13 and first down.
And what a nice example there of the tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus, and indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Jackson. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Another incompletion with that one. He's just 7 of 14 throwing the football, 50%. Typically not going to get it done, is it?
And let's just make it simple, and that's exactly why they trail.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now it's Jackson. This one caught by his tight end Andrews. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They go play action now. Jackson. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 4. It's a pickup of 15 and a first set of downs.
Third down and short yardage. You're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field. A nice dart picks up the first down, and then some.
Territory. Here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Play action. Now Jackson. Going out wide, finds Chubb. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
This a 2nd and 7 from the 37. They'll go left side on the ground with Chubb. And some space here. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive. And here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. When you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
2nd and 10 now, 3rd quarter from Charlotte. Now Chubb running right. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. Now it's Jackson. And he finds McLaurin. And the Panthers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
When we call the game, we talk about Lamar Jackson and his speed, his elusiveness, and the ability to get him on the ground. How tough that is for a defense. But how about his development as a thrower, as a professional?
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run with Chubb. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. They'll try again with Chubb. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
Sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half, you're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
Yeah, not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
This Colts D up to the challenge so far, but they need another stop here on 3rd and goal. They'll give it to Chubb. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
And you know it pains them to be this close. And you know they're going to want to go for it here. But they absolutely have to kick the field goal and get this back to a 1-score game. It's only logical.
Gonzalez out now to try the Panther field goal. This a chip shot, a 20-yarder. Gonzalez's kick is good. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
After the field goal, here's Gonzalez to kick it off. Fielded just outside the goal line. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Here we go.
They begin with Henry. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 66 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Over the middle and complete to Waddle. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. 3 quarters in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Colts. They've got control of the football. They also have the lead as we start the 4th. Inside handoff, Henry. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation when they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. An ideal spot here to get a 1st down and try to run some more clock. And this is 2nd and less than a yard. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7 reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Throwing now, Burrow on 1st down. That's to Waddle on the quick slant. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. And right side, Henry's got it. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
On 2nd down, here's Henry. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Now they'll have it 1st and goal following that gain of 17. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
Yeah, in this part of the game, the 4th quarter, this is where a running back really has a chance to shine. This is what they've been training for, to take over the game down the stretch. The defense, it's been battered all game long. And here, this is just a case of a runner imposing his will and deciding he didn't want to be tackled right there.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll try and run for it with Henry. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. 2nd, 3rd guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
Henry will get about halfway there as he takes this from the 4 down to the 2. Calling a gain of 2 as they're knocking on the door now. 3rd and goal. The objective there, I mean,
possession of ball. Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got it 3rd and goal now as they look for that final touchdown to salt this one away. Trying to punch it in with Henry. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Derrick Henry taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Colts have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this fourth quarter.
Well, that was absolutely ideal for them, wasn't it? Trying to salt this game away. I think one of my kids just graduated in the amount of time they had the football. That was absolutely impressive.
Everybody wants those salt-away-the-game drives. What makes them successful?
Well, when you're able to mix run-pass, when you're able to control the football and stay ahead of the chains, I'm using every cliche I know, but that's how you get it done because you're not taking negative plays, and that way you're able to run what you want to run when you get a chance to call it.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good, and the lead now up to 14. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. So Lamar Jackson in the offense, down by 2 touchdowns. 1:53 remaining. Their offense has struggled all night, and now they need to find 2 scores late to try to pull this thing out. Jackson. Pass complete to Chubb. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that will bring up 2nd down. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
Clock running here, under 90 seconds to go. Here's Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there because, to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
Now Jackson. Drops it off for Chubb. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense.
No doubt. I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what you need. And in this case, the offense is taking what the defense is giving them, not what they need.
Here's Chubb, back-to-back catches for him. And this is not going to be what they needed. They get a few here, but now 3rd down as the clock runs. The Charles are trying to protect this lead late. Those are the types of mistakes they could afford to go without.
But the last thing you want to give them is help in completing a comeback, which is exactly what that penalty does.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Jackson to throw. Now he's flushed out left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. He's going to let it fly. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. Well, there were about 70,000 that were quickly calling for that flag. It comes out there for pass interference.
What do you think, partner? A little sarcasm in that cheering from this crowd here tonight. What they're hoping now is to build a little momentum off of it and give a more genuine reason to cheer down the road.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, 1st and goal. Throwing, Jackson. Now he'll escape to his left. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it, incomplete.
And now defensively in the 2-minute drill, the big key to me, make sure you understand your assignments. And anytime you get a chance to tackle someone in bounds, get them on the ground.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. One last shot for Jackson. And he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So they still need a miracle with the clock where it's at, but they get one piece to the puzzle done.
Still have hope.
Problem for them, they needed that score with a little more time left on the clock. I think just too little, too late now.
I would agree with that, and we're programmed never to say never. But in this case, we're asking a lot for them to even think they have a chance.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So with just a few ticks left, they need a miracle. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
What a finish in this one, Charles. You know, this group, they come in, they have to fight a hostile atmosphere every snap. They get the late score, they get the victory, and that flight home, it's going to be a little sweeter after this one.
And Brandon, just like you, I was fired up for that last sequence. How about that? Wouldn't you have loved to have been in the huddle when they were mounting that game-winning drive? Big-time moment. No one shied away from it. They tuned out the crowd, kept their heads, and executed the way they needed to earn that win.